Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne Farrow. I am your Google BFF, a digital product specialist and a Google for Education certified trainer. And I am here today to talk to you a little bit more in depth about assigning assignments on Google Classroom. So whether you are a teacher that creates your own digital products or you are selling digital products on Teacher Pay Teachers, this will go more into those little details on how students interact with your products on Google Classroom. The reason I focus on Google Classroom is because Google works best with Google, and Google Classroom is widely used throughout many schools across the United States and the world. And even if students use another LMS system, oftentimes Classroom is used in conjunction because it works so well on the sending of the back and forth between sending Google tool assignments out and then back in. So let's take a deep dive into what an assignment looks like, both we're going to look at slides and docs and then also forms. All right, so here we are in the test class that I have created, and we're going to head on over here to classwork. We have the create button and we can create an assignment or a quiz assignment. We're going to create an assignment first, and this is our blank screen right here. So here is the title. So this would be the title of your product. So let's say interactive notebook. And then here is the instructions that will be given to the teacher. A really helpful thing that you could do is provide these instructions for the teacher so that they can just copy and paste it right directly into Google Classroom. That would save them a lot of time, and it would be really helpful for that teacher specifically. So here we are just going to focus on attaching material that comes from our drive. A teacher can also add a YouTube video. So if you have any YouTube videos that you want to suggest that go along with your product, you could list those separately so that they can add it into Google Classroom. There is also the option to create from directly within an assignment. Practice sets are something we are not going to cover right now. They are new, and you can upload a direct file or link to an outside website. So let's go here to Drive. So a buyer would use your product from their Google Drive and upload it directly for their students. So let's look here and see, actually, let's just go with a regular document here. And then what we'll do is we'll go and do a Google slide here separately as well. So here is your different sharing options with the students. So a student can directly just view the file. So that's perfect if you want them just to be able to read it. They can edit the file, which is great for collaboration among students. So all of the students who are within this assignment, who have been assigned this assignment, will be able to collaborate together. And then the final one is making a copy for each student. This is most commonly going to be what is used, because what it'll do is it'll take your product and it'll force copy your product for each student within this Google Classroom, within this assignment. And so they will be able to interact with your product directly. Let's actually we'll just do both of these. We'll create a slide from within here too. If a teacher is creating a slide, it will actually open up right there and give them this a blank slide to create in there. So we're just going to say test slide just to make something easy. Again, it's important for the teacher to make a copy for each student. Another couple things to note, a teacher would be able to assign it to multiple classes or choose the students who it would be assigned to. So this could, right now there's no students in this class, but if there were students in the class, you would see the whole list of students here. Assign a due date, assign a topic. A topic is essentially a section within Google Classroom, and then they can actually set a grade category and points. So here is the class settings from within Classroom. What I also think is really cool is that they're constantly updating and making Classroom better. When I attended the Google Symposium for Google Champions, I actually got to meet with some product managers from Classroom, and they were soliciting our feedback on the platform, and they're always looking for ways to make Classroom better for students and teachers. So a grading period can be added here, which is really, really cool. So you can say fall and it starts here, let's say, September 4th and goes through right before Christmas, December 15th. And then you can add another one if you needed. You can apply it to all existing assignments. You can even copy it to other classes, which is great. And then you can create your own grading scale for here. So you can add a proficiency scale. You can do letter grades. You can do a 4-point scale. You can create your own grading scale. So that would be something that the teacher could do. And then there's a way that you can calculate the grades by total points or weighted by category. And you can show the overall grade. And then you can even make categories that are dependent on how you set up your grade book. So while those are all fantastic information to know, you do not need to focus on that specifically because that is not something you're going to provide to your buyers. However, you can also include a rubric. I'm going to have a separate video completely on rubrics, but that could be something that you can consider adding to your digital products, something that they can upload directly into Google Classroom that goes along with your product. All right, so I just added my test student into this classroom. And so here on the student side, I can see that we have some work that's been assigned. And I can go here and look at the documents as a student to start working with them. So think about not only how your buyer is going to use the product, but how the student is going to use the product. What do you want them to be able to do as they're in Google Classroom? So if it has been assigned and a copy has been made, they'll click here and they're able to go directly into here. So we're going to be able to see this whole document that's been given. Maybe they need to edit it and maybe they need to start, highlighting things on here. So be very clear and explicit with what are the things that you need the students to do. And then also here on, oops, that's the wrong one. Also here on your work is our test slide here. So a student would be able to work on their own presentation and collaborate. They could collaborate with others because they can still share it with other people, but they would be able to create their own presentation from within here. So as you're creating your product and your information for your product, think about the directions for the teacher, the directions for the student, and then also what is it that this teacher might be looking for as they're grading. So if we go back here to the classwork here, as a teacher, I can actually see in real time what my students are doing. So if I'm right here, I can see that, I can see all the files that are part of this assignment, which is really cool that they're all grouped together. So even though I clicked on the document, it opened up the slide. But then I can see here that, they've started to highlight and their cursor is right here. And so the teacher's in suggesting mode. So maybe you give them some ideas of suggestions, or even better, you can give them a list of possible canned responses that they can use that they can just copy and paste easily into Google Classroom. We're always looking to save time as teachers. That would save teachers a ton of time. If this is you're looking for grammar or vocabulary, you can do a suggestion like double check your grammar, double check your vocab, or there's a lot of different things you can do. But that's what the suggestion part is that you're not actually editing for the student. You can comment or you can say, okay, this needs to be bold. And so this is giving a suggestion, don't forget to bold that. And then on the student side, if they're going into that document, they're going to see in real time the teacher's information here. It's bolded and then it's the comments are there. So look at maybe how you can save teachers time by giving them some of those canned responses or guidance on how to actually look at your activity with the students, provide feedback, provide suggestions, etc. Then the teacher can add private comments here, talk directly with the student back and forth. And then once the student has turned in the activity, when they go back over here to interactive notebook and turn it in, they turn in both of those things. On the teacher side of things, they can see that it's been turned in up here, and then they can give the grade of, whatever they need to give, and then return it back so that the student retains ownership of those files. I'm going to say return. I am back here in classwork and I need to add a self-correcting quiz. So one of the top tips that I have for teacher authors is an easy thing to digitize and add to your products is a quiz. Teachers love getting rapid feedback, whether it's for formative assessment or summative assessment, exit ticket. There's all sorts of different kinds of ways a teacher can get feedback. If you create a form from directly within Google Classroom and put up a settings and make it a quiz, it will make it a quiz in Google Classroom as well. So we can go back here. We should be able to, oops, did it go away? It did go away. Let's go to Drive and let's find that form, that untitled form that's now a quiz. This is what I'm looking for. All right, so that you're going to see here that Classroom is going to import the grades for a quiz. So if it is marked as a quiz here, Classroom will recognize it as a quiz and import those grades. Saves teachers a ton of time. This is where teachers want that information, is for self-correcting quizzes. So actually, I'm going to title this self-correcting quiz. And then if teachers use lock mode on Chromebooks, they can have it there. But let's just put in a couple questions. Or yellow. Okay, so we have that one. And then we're going to make sure to put in a point value and a correct answer. And then we're going to do what color is grass. And then we'll do, it gives us a suggested answer of green. Great. Blue, purple, and black. I was almost going to say brown, but grass can be brown. I'm going to make this a required question for both of those, so the student has to answer them. Make sure that answer key is great, but we need to make sure there's points. Tip, and I'll have videos on Google Forms later on, but don't forget you can also set your default question point value right there. All right, so we have our untitled form. Let's take that off. We're going to put it on just to make sure it has the most up-to-date form, because we attached it before I made those edits. Okay, so let's attach that and see. And then we can always click on this just to go in and double check. Yep, we're good. We're going to say test quiz. All right, so we have grade importing here. Double check we're good on that form. Okay. And then we're going to sign it all there. We're going to just do a point value of 2 because, yep. And then let's assign. Cool. Now we're going to go over the student area. We see that self-correcting quiz right here. We can actually pop in and take that quiz really fast. It will auto save. We're going to record our email because we are within Classroom. The sky is blue, but I think maybe grass is purple. I think that sounds like a great answer. Then we're going to submit it. And depending on how the quiz is set up, we can view the score, and we can also open an assignment. So here I can actually see, oh, that's wrong right here. That's the correct answer, but that one's correct there. And then we can go back to the assignment. And then from here, I can see, actually, I want to go back to the teachers. I'm going to go here to see that it's been turned in. I can go right here and I can look at it. I can see that there's been one response. I can see from the individual what has happened here. And then I can release the score. So I can release the score to everyone or just one or two people. I'll send an email and release it. And then if I want to import the grades from the quiz, I can just click import grades and it will import it into Google Classroom. And so right here, it says 1 out of 2. So that's how Google Forms could be used in Google Classroom. All right, well, that was quite a bit. We looked at how products can be assigned in Google Classroom, Google Slides, Google Docs, and Google Forms. We looked at how teachers can provide feedback, ways you can add on to your product to save teachers time by giving them canned responses, giving clear directions to teachers and students about what to do throughout the process in Google Classroom. And then we also looked at how Google Forms, if they are in a quiz format, can be really save teachers a ton of time by automagically, I love that word, automagically grading that quiz. And then it provides that direct feedback to the student right after they submit it, if that is a part of the quiz that is checked. And then it can be, those grades can be imported directly into Google Classroom. So if you like this video, it means a lot to me if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can get notifications when future videos come out. Don't forget to check out my free masterclass, the Digitize with Google Masterclass, to give you information on how to digitize your products, whether you are going to use them in the classroom yourself or you are going to use those to sell online. Follow me on Instagram. Go find me over at Facebook at our Facebook group, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.